Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Father Roderick, and I am going to watch the first episode or chapter of the new Boba Fett series on Disney+. So this is a watch party. Even if you're not watching this live, then of course you can still join the party. The only thing that matters is that you start the actual episode, which of course I will not display here in the YouTube video because of copyright reasons and you won't hear the sound. But if you start the episode at the same moment as I do, then you could, for instance, watch it on your TV and then watch my reaction to it on your mobile phone or on your iPad or whatever other device. So hopefully that's going to work. This is the first time ever that I do a watch party, but I think it could be fun. And then, of course, during and after the episode, we can chat. I'll be able to see your comments. So by all means, let me know what you think. You can even type your comments while you're watching it with me, because in that way, I'll have, even after the episode, some time to go through your comments and through your questions and remarks. And we can just continue the enjoyment. Now, I will be posting another video on my YouTube channel with a spoiler-free first reaction. So if you haven't seen the episode yet and you don't want to be spoiled, then first go or watch the episode with me, because I don't know what's in the episode. I haven't seen anything. I haven't read any reviews either. So I'm just as excited as you are. But for those people that don't want to see the watch party, of course, I will be just giving them a brief summary of my initial feelings. And then maybe later on, I'll just do more of an in-depth episode. I hope the audio is good. I hope the video looks good. Let's get going, I think. If there is an ad, and sometimes I don't have control over what YouTube does, of course, during these live streams, but if there's an ad that for some reason interrupts the watch party and kind of you get a disconnect between what I'm commenting to and what you're watching, then that's why I have this timer over here that I will start when I start the episode, and hopefully that will help you to sync up. So my apologies in advance if this doesn't work. I'm still figuring out this whole watch party thing. So I'm gonna put up my headphones, and oh my gosh, I am so excited. This is Star Wars, and it's been a year since we've seen Star Wars, and I've been missing going back to this universe, and well, anyway, I'm not going to spoil your time. I'm not going to waste your time. Let's go watch the episode, and let me just get the browser window here. I need to kind of mess around a little bit to get that started. So I'll just press the player here. I need to kind of preload this, and I have to make sure that I press play on the timer the moment oh wait, I already hear something, so I'm gonna just put this back to the beginning. I think that's all right. Hopefully there won't be too much of a choppy video, because I'm running this on a very old MacBook Air. I need to upgrade my gear, but so it's got a lot to do: streaming, recording, and then playing the episode. All right, let's go. Enjoy, and may the Force be with you. Ooh, I love the low rumble in the background. Oh, I love seeing this familiar opening sequence. Oh, and there we are in Tatooine. Oh my gosh, I miss this place. And we go straight into the dungeons of Jabba's castle. Ooh, they really cleaned up the place. And there, of course, is the throne. The music is clearly by the same composer who did The Mandalorian. Oh, what is that? Oh my, it's Boba Fett in a Bacta tank. Oh, this must be after he fell into the Sarlacc pit. Oh, we go back to the clone facilities. Oh, he's dreaming of his past. And there he is, picking up the helmet from his father, Jango. Oh, I love how they tie this into the prequels. And of course, this is all trauma. What is this? Oh, this is in the Sarlacc. Oh, the insides of the Sarlacc. Oh, wow. Oh, I so hoped we got to see this. Oh, man, he's being digested. Oh, no. Oh, this is horrific. Oh, my gosh. An eaten stormtrooper. It's one of the guys who fell in. We saw that in Return of the Jedi, of course. What's he doing? Oh, he's using the oxygen? I didn't even know that stormtroopers had an oxygen tank. Oh my goodness. Oh man, that looked like a sequence out of Aliens. You see the remains of the... Oh, wow. Oh, I love this. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's alive. Of course, we already knew that. Oh man, this is brilliant. I've been waiting to see this for decades. Wow. I don't think the Sarlacc enjoyed his meal there. What's this? Oh, the Jawas? Of course, they're coming to scavenge the remains of Jabba's ship. Oh, cool. Oh no, they take his armor. Oh, wow. This is like the ultimate symbol of death, of course. They take off his clothes. Just reminds me of the crucifixion, you know, the Passion, where they take the Jesus clothes before they crucify him. So this is definitely going to be the death resurrection scene in the life of Boba Fett. Oh my. Oh, did you hear that harp? That is similar to the John Williams music in A New Hope. A sandstorm. Of course, you can't have Tatooine without sandstorms. Sandtroopers are there. I didn't know he had a white suit on. This is such an epic cinematography. He looks like a zombie. Oh, they're tying him up? Probably just to be sure? No. Ew, what is that? Yuck. Oh, wow, that was the juice of some kind of insect. Did wake him up. I love this scene too. I mean, look at that. Look at that. This harkens back to imagery from old Western series or movies, where he's being pulled by horses, in these cases, of course, the Bantas. This looks so epic. Where did they film this? And that music is great too. Oh, poor guy. Oh no. Now he's being dragged on. This shot, you know, and they ride the Bantas with two Tusken Raiders at once. I don't think we've ever seen that before. Oh, he's arriving at a camp? Look at that Banta in the distance. Ooh. There's some CGI animals in the background as well. The Book of Boba Fett. Stranger in a strange land. This has a lot of Western vibes. Oh, that's a younger Tusken Raider. So you get to see more of the culture of the Sand People. I love that. Oh my gosh. They're violent. These are probably just the kids. Maybe Boba had a bad reputation as being a bounty hunter. I do get, again, some vibes of the, you know, the Romans torturing Jesus. So I wonder when the Bacta tank is taking place. Whoa, they captured more people. Ooh. I wonder who's going to shoot first. Something tells me it's Boba. I love that alien watchdog. That looks amazing. Is that CGI or is that a puppet? Oh, wow. That creature looks fierce. Ew. Has like a crocodile beak. Oh. Wow. He's using the teeth too. Whoa. He's not afraid. That's nice that he's thinking of the Rhodian. Oh no! Uh-oh. Now the camp is awake. I think we've seen similar tents in the prequels, right? When Anakin wants to free his mother, and they've captured Shmi, or Shmai. I think it's Shmi, right? Oh no. Is that the same animal or is this another dog? This looks a little bit like a studio, I have to say. Yeah, this doesn't look like it's been filmed outside. This looks more like something inside a studio. Ah. Okay, so what's happening here? Uh-oh. Oh. A jewel. I told you this has Western vibes. Also classic cinematography. You've got these spectators and then you've got the two circling one another. Sorry, by the way, that I'm so chatty. It's just what I do. Oh! Whoa! Wow, that looks violent. Ooh. Ooh. I have to say, in terms of choreography, this is pretty good. But I think this is a botched escape attempt. His suit almost looks like a prison suit. So maybe that's on purpose. They leave him. Oh. That's how he ended up in the Bacta tank. So it's after he was captured by the Tusken Raiders. I wonder why they walked away by the... Oh, it looks a lot better. This Bacta fluid looks much more fluid, more like water compared to the Bacta that we saw in Empire Strikes Back. Boba Fett definitely lost some weight since the last appearance in The Mandalorian. He looks a ton more lean and stronger. Oh, classic cut sequence, you know, where you're wearing the armor. I love these little droids. They're like upgraded versions of the droids that we saw in the prequels and the junkyard droids. Oh. Cool. An audience. And of course, gifts. Just like they did with Jabba. He's the new mafia boss, I suppose. And of course, he needs a translator too. They need a protocol droid. Yeah, that's what I thought C-3PO is missing. You know that droid, right? The white droid was, I think, one of the droids that we see in the with the Jawas when they pick up R2-D2 and C-3PO in A New Hope. I think. More gifts. Ooh. Oh. It's kind of a casual Twi'lek. I love his attire. Milady. Is this the mayor from The Mandalorian? The sheriff dude? Uh-oh, tribute. This is not going to work out well. Ooh, Boba Fett is the crime lord. The acting is great. This is, so much more modern acting, casual, compared to the kind of often stiff direction that we see in the movies. I love these hand gestures. It's this same awkward stuff. You gotta love it. We've seen this with other Twi'leks as well. They're so over the top. Oh, Gamorreans. This is pretty horrible. So he refuses to torture them. And he rewards their loyalty. That's pretty good. This is a new kind of leadership. Oh, wow. Oh, look at that city. That reminds me of Jeddah, but this time it's in a crevice. Where would this be? Look at those dog droids. Those look like, these are practical. These look like the robot dogs that we saw in demo videos. I bet you these are practical. Oh, cool! Yes! Yeah! I love it. We're going back to the cantina. This is a more upscale cantina. Oh, wow, I love this. Oh, the droid behind the counter is the same droid that flies the old Star Tours spaceship. Similar model, of course. Yeah, that's exactly the same droid. I haven't done the new Star Tours, so I wonder if this droid is still part of the... Actually, is Star Tours still a thing in Disneyland? I don't know. So Boba is really about adapting himself to the culture that he's a part of. I love these Gamorreans. I love it. I wasn't carried on a litter. I walk on my own feet. So far, I'm loving this. And that's the same musical band that we saw, of course, in Return of the Jedi, the upgraded version, or the special editions, with the blue elephant alien. Wow. Nice editing here, where people walk by and then they cut to a close-up. It's also what you see a lot in A New Hope. Ooh, look at that droid there. That must be a relative of Gonk. Oh, this looks so good. Oh! An assassin. 2 assassins. Oh, wow. What's happening? There goes the helmet. Is this could be a test actually of Boba Fett's leadership. Like they attack him to see how strong he truly is. Ooh, he's being tasered. Whoa! Nice fighting. Oh, there are the Gamorreans. Excellent. You see, it pays to trust even these Gamorreans because they'll pay you back. I don't think we've ever seen these green dudes as active as this. In Return of the Jedi, they're kind of heavy and slow. But now you understand why they are guards. Hey everyone in the chat room, by the way. Thank you for joining me. Wow. Uh-oh. And they're on the run. Classic Boba Fett, you know? Just shoot them. He needs them alive. He's got to go back into the Bacta tank or pod. Whoa, some nice parkour. We've never seen that either. At least, yeah, this is classic parkour. Oh, wow. That looks amazing. How did they film this? These guys are like ninjas. Star Wars ninjas. But who sent them? Uh-oh. Now, of course, she's gonna win. It's amazing what they did, like visualizing this huge city. And it must have, of course, all be generated in the background. Ah. Oh, wow. He's really in bad shape. Again, I remember this Bacta fluid to be much more sticky, more like goo in previous movies. And every time he goes into the Bacta tank, he's got these flashbacks of his trauma. But in this dream, he's being released? Why would that be? Oh no, he's just being led elsewhere. I wonder why they show these younger Tusken Raiders to be so prominent. Maybe this is part of their, I don't know, initiation ritual, or they have to prove that they're strong to be accepted by the adults or something like that. Just speculating here. Again, with the chain that is classic Western imagery. This is really outside. They must have gone Would they have gone to Tunisia to film this, or maybe not? Maybe the background is CGI and the foreground is just sand? Some smoke in the background. This looks like the homestead. Is this Luke Skywalker? No. It looks very, very similar to the homestead. Graffiti. So basically these thugs are robbing and killing farmers, moisture farmers. Maybe the Sand People want him to see this so he can do something against the pillaging of the inhabitants of Tatooine. He's got to go on his knees. So he needs to dig for water. Which of course is very rare on Tatooine. But that's not the most efficient way to dig for water, I would say. No hard feelings. You can tell that Boba is an Aussie. So they have to dig up these pods? And there's water in them like coconuts, but then under the sand? Yeah, that's it. Cool. I think this Tuscan kid is in it over his head. Or her head, we don't know. The animation of that animal is so good. The twin sons. I love all these details. This is so well done. And of course, Boba is already hatching his second escape plan. Or actually the first, because the second one was the one where he really escaped. They want to go to Anchorhead. They're no friends. Nice theory in the chat room that maybe the graffiti is meant to make other people believe that the Sand People did the attack on the farmers, on the moisture farmers. Oh, what is that? Crate dragon? Yeah, crate dragon. Oh. Or not a crate dragon, some other creature. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. What is this? Oh, yeah, sand creature, it says. Oh, my word. Oh, that looks amazing. Uh, Definitely not a crate dragon, but I love it with the arms. That is that's an homage to the classic animation in these stop motion movies, these fantasy movies from the 50s and 60s. And it also really matches, I think, the kind of monsters you would see in these Saturday morning movies that George Lucas loved to watch when he was young. The matinee genre. Oh, wow, look at that. And he's using the chains to, just like Leia. This is an homage to Leia. Oh, man. This is a fantastic parallel to Return of the Jedi. Just choking the sand creature. Oh, hero moment. Now he's earning his respect. What a shot. Ah. He beheaded the monster. Oh, now he's going to show that they're going to make them believe that the kid did this. So I think I was right. This was a way for the kid to prove himself to the adults. Amazing. I guess this must be after his first escape, right? I'm a bit confused. So this is how he gets the respect of the Tusken Raiders. Ah, so the kid is now describing how he helped save the life of that kid. And of course, that is how he gets that's how he escapes. And he gets a cup of water as a sign of respect. Well written. Really well done. Fantastic. Yes! Yes! Oh, brilliant. Written by Jon Favreau. Ah. That was really, really good start of the series. And Dave Filoni, of course, is involved as well. And we get a theme song. It's similar to the music from The Mandalorian, but also it's got its own pace. You gotta love the artwork at the end. Sometimes the pre-production artwork is even better than the actual, what we get to see. It's beautiful. Ludwig Göransson. Such a versatile composer. And I love these little references, very subtle, to the John Williams soundtrack. That final fight with the sand monster was epic. All this pre-production artwork is You could put it on the wall. It is so good. And that is the end of the episode. It's still playing. Okay, I'm going to stop it here. I don't think there is a after credits sequence as far as I can tell. So I'm just going to stop the thing here. Otherwise, you're just going to watch me react to music and credits. But whoa. Okay, I need to have your opinions as well. What did you think? This was fantastic. I don't know if you were able to watch it at the same time as I was. I'll stop the timer as well. I think the episode is about... Now, the timer, the stopwatch that you see in the corner there, that's just an indication because, well, as I mentioned in the introduction, my laptop is a little bit slow, so sometimes it has got these micro pauses where the CPU is trying to catch up. So that may, my commentary or my reaction may get a little bit out of sync, but it shows you more or less where I am in the episode. Again, I will try to improve my gear over time so we can do this more often. I'm just going to take my iPad and browse through your comments here. But I hope you're just as excited as I am, because I had not expected... what did I expect? I saw the trailer, and for some reason it didn't grab me that much. Maybe because we've been so spoiled with The Mandalorian, and it felt, good. It looked good. But even the choreography of some of... there is a snippet of a fight didn't convince me. And it was of the fight where these ninjas, these Star Wars ninjas attacked them. And it didn't feel that good. But of course, that was a trailer that was edited probably before they finished editing this episode. And I have to say, everything is much more snappy. And a lot of the fights are, in close-up. And it's got a good flow, this first episode. Another thing that I wondered before I started watching is how much is this going to resemble The Mandalorian? And is this not just going to be like a copy of The Mandalorian? After all, they both have this similar armor, and they were together in the last season of The Mandalorian. So how are they going to differentiate this from The Mandalorian? But I think it works. This gives a lot of backstory. So absolutely the escape from the Sarlacc pit. That was fan service 100%. And I love it 200%. I mean, this is what you hope to see. But when you see it, it is even cooler. I loved that sequence where he sees this half-eaten stormtrooper. And it was just this... You always wondered when Boba Fett falls into the Sarlacc pit. And of course, that was way before his backstory would be expanded in the prequels. But you always wondered, what does it look like on the inside? And now we get to see it, and oh my gosh, it was pretty gruesome. Another thing that I wondered is this going to just be like a repeat of stuff that we saw in A New Hope and Return of the Jedi? So is this just going to be best of Tatooine? Now, I think they found a really good balance between showing us environments that we're familiar with, cultures that we've already gotten to know, like the Sand People, that of course are getting more and more backstory, and their whole attitude in A New Hope, they are just enemies, they're dangerous, they're just bad guys. And then in The Mandalorian, of course, that gets more nuanced, and we see that they are actually oppressed as well. And so a lot of their aggression has a reason, and in this episode we see them actually, having certain values and being able to acknowledge, the heroic deeds of Boba Fett and his own self-sacrifice to put his own life in jeopardy to save this child, even though the child was his captor and the children did mistreat him. So it's Boba Fett actually taking the high road and thereby showing his true leadership, his true strength. And I think that will probably be a moral theme that we will see along all these episodes, that Boba Fett is not like Jabba. He lives in the same palace, he sits on the same throne, but he rules not through fear, which is a common trait of the bad guys in Star Wars. But he rules by virtue in a certain way, at least within his own value system. Yes, he's still a bounty hunter in a certain way. He's still, not following the light side of the Force, but he does have a certain moral compass, and he knows that he has to save this child, even though the child didn't deserve to be saved. So again, as I mentioned while watching the episode, there are quite a few biblical themes here that are mostly, of course, under the surface, but they're hard to miss. The death and resurrection part in the beginning of the episode, the flagellation of Boba Fett, that was clearly, to me at least, evoking scenes of the flagellation of Jesus. And then also this moral leadership. It's not, you don't lead by power, you lead by self-sacrifice, by respect, by virtue, as I said. Okay, enough talking. Let me just look at your comments. Evo says this is such a good start of the series. Actually, Michiel says, I really enjoyed watching this. The idea of the watch party is fun and enjoyable. That's good to hear, because it's actually, the setup is super simple. I'm just watching this on my laptop. I've got a camera behind the laptop, and I'm listening to the audio on the headphones, so there's no copyright stuff in this video. The head of the protocol droid was in the artwork. I don't know if we saw it in the actual episode, but it was fun. Shades of Anakin in the arena as well. Oh yes, Clash of the Titans, Red Leader 1. Thank you so much. That is absolutely the kind of the release of Kraken. Clash of the Titans, movies like that used to have that same, the same kind of monsters that we saw here on Tatooine. So that's a beautiful homage. Omar says, I subscribed. Thank you so much, Omar. I appreciate it. Then, of course, Michiel had this theory of this group of thugs putting graffiti on the farm, on the moisture farm, just so that the Tusken Raiders would be blamed. We've got Mike, the Star Wars toy collector from Canada. Good to see you. Hello there, Caleb. General Kenobi. Why does Fett look older after he got out of the Sarlacc pit? Asks King. Well, we don't know actually what he looked like under the armor during the time period of A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. He never takes his helmet off. So we only see him in the prequels, of course, and he's already, at an advanced age. So you have to calculate the time between the prequels and the time frame of this, which is post Return of the Jedi. Then of course he looks older. He has aged, but he's still strong. So this really solves a lot of the problems that you would normally have when you film a sequel story like this, because actors may be much older than the time progress in the movies that you're following up on. That's why oftentimes actors are being recast by younger actors, or roles are recast by younger actors, so you don't have that time problem. But I think that they did a good job here. And again, I really think that the actor, Temuera Morrison, I never know how to pronounce those Maori names, but he's definitely lost some weight, and he looks much more lean and strong than in The Mandalorian. Because I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh, is he really up to the task? Is he able to do this convincingly? But I have to say yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I love that he's got a partner in crime, literally, and that the two can both fight together. And of course, she wears a helmet, so they can replace her with stunt actors. So you get a lot of good action without the actors having to be both stunt people and actors. Speaking of which, the acting, I don't know what you thought, but I thought the acting was really good. Especially the scenes in Jabba's palace, where you've got all these different creatures coming to pay their respects and offering gifts. Again, the Magi kneeling down in front of Jesus, that's another theme that has some, there's some mirror imagery here. So offering gifts, now of course that is not an exclusive for biblical stories, but it's the same idea, you offer your respects, except for this one, this one group that with the mayor, and of course we will get to see who that is and how that plays out later on. But there are definitely groups on Tatooine that don't want to bow for Boba Fett, and he will probably have to prove his leadership and prove his superiority or his power. And you need that. You need dissenters. Boba Fett needs to have enemies and not just creatures. Not just this dog equivalent on Tatooine with crocodile teeth and sand monsters. You need believable humanoid enemies. So I think this will all be about his struggle. And I mentioned a number of times in my commentary that this reminded me of old, Western movies. A lot of the tropes that you see, also visual tropes, are deliberately included here. But I also believe that this series is going to have a lot of mafia tropes. He's kind of taking hold of his domain, and then there are, of course, other bosses, crime bosses, that don't want him to be in charge. And, well, proof is, of course, this attack by this group of, I keep calling them Star Wars ninjas, the parkour guys. By the way, the parkour scene, oh my goodness. That was so fantastic. It looked a bit too much like parkour. That was my only gripe with it. They clearly hired some parkour stunt people. And so a lot of the jumping, etc., feels a bit too much. I don't know. It took me a bit out of the world of Star Wars. I wish they would have found some variations, like do a Star Wars version of parkour. But anyway, that's just minor details. But I love the sequence on the rooftops, which is actually something we never got to see in the movies, but it's absolutely part of the video games. If you play Star Wars Battlefront, especially in the second game, there's a lot of running around on rooftops and being chased on rooftops. So the series, I think, also takes that into account, that we are familiar with these environments. We've played in them while playing these video games. Meryl LeBlau says, it was amazing. Michiel, good point. The Sand People always ride in single file to hide their numbers. That's what they did here. It's good to see my country represented as a planet every time. King, what country do you mean? Let's see, what else? Michiel says, this is also harkening back to some old comics where Boba Fett does the same thing. So in comic books, of course, they expanded upon, what happened after he was swallowed by the Sarlacc monster in the pit. And so apparently the imagery is similar to what they did in the comics. I don't know if these comics are still canon or if they are relegated to the Legends, moniker. But it's always good to take what was good from the older comics and, expanded universe stories and reintegrate that in today's Star Wars canon. Good morning, world. It's Boba Fett Day. Let's go. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. It's like when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, it's Boba Fett Day. I should have stayed up late, actually. Maybe next time that's what I'm going to do. I don't know when exactly these episodes drop, and if they drop earlier here in Europe, because I'm in Europe, than they do in the United States. Maybe they'll drop worldwide at a certain time. But maybe next time I'll just stay up and watch it the moment it gets posted. All right, let me look at your final remarks. Yowibo is in Australia. Thank you for the commentary. Thank you, and I'm so glad that you're watching this, and you should be proud of all the Australian influences on this series. It is really amazing, Take it easy, mate. Don Diavolo, haven't watched it yet. Do they show the Sarlacc pit? Yes. Well, this is spoiler territory, but yes, absolutely. We see the Sarlacc pit, and it's glorious, and it looks it looks the way it should look. Just like the homestead, this moisture farmer. What if, nah, I'm not sure if that's possible. What if the moisture farm of Uncle Owen was taken over maybe by another moisture farmer? After all, they burned the house itself, but the moisture farm itself should be intact. So maybe this was the actual place, the actual homestead. All right, Pedro, see you later. SL7 says, I cannot wait to see this show. Well, it's on now. You can go and watch it now. Or you can go back and then just watch my commentary alongside. But maybe you'll just want to see the episode first by yourself, because I'm kind of chatty, as you've noticed. And again, my apologies. So I'm giving a lot of commentary. That's why you never want to sit next to me during a Star Wars premiere. My brother has suffered through a lot of premieres like that, where I'm constantly like, oh, did you see that? This has to be, this is... And my brother's like, dude, I'm watching a movie. SL7, nothing beats the fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi looks like Jesus. Yeah, he definitely does. These are all archetypes, This goes beyond tropes. Star Wars works so well in so many cultures because it uses so many religious archetypes and so many of the major themes of literature and storytelling in general. And it's just George Lucas and later on the other writers, Jon Favreau and Filoni, they all understand that you have to speak a language, like a mythological language that people can relate to. And that is why Star Wars is so popular, I think, because they nailed that. And they do it, I think, in a different way and oftentimes better way than the Avengers, for instance, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because that's much more classic comic book themes. Whereas here, although they do have religious themes also under the surface, but Star Wars is even more religious in its tone in a certain way. This could be an Old Testament story. And, well, Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, Father, Son, the Force, Holy Spirit. It's part of the fabric of Star Wars to have these religious elements. But it's never on the nose, and that's what I appreciate. Did they just explain how Obi-Wan aged over time in Tatooine as well? Well, maybe. SL7 says, I love chatting along as long as it is about the thing that we're watching. Well, glad to hear that. Does the monster remind us of Goro in Mortal Kombat? Maybe. Oh, the country that we were talking about was Tunisia. Yeah, and Tatooine, of course, the original Tatooine is Tunisia, and then later on they filmed in other countries as well. And they also went to this, the Salt Lakes in the United States. That's where they filmed a lot of the previous series and even movie parts. Yeah, the rooftop stuff also reminded me of Assassin's Creed. I could totally see a video game with this rooftop running. Although we already have that in a certain way in Battlefront. All right, so this was my initial reaction, my initial commentary. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do more watch parties. Also, let me know what time would work best for you. Do you want me to stay up late and do a live stream as soon as the episode drops? If that's possible, of course, or are you okay with watching this after the fact? Also, let me know if this worked with the timer, because that's something I'm not sure if it stays in sync, and maybe YouTube will insert advertisements and it will completely, get everything out of whack and it will be an annoyance. Just let me know. I'll tweak this format over time, but so far so good. And of course, let me know all your thoughts in the comments if you're watching this after the fact. And I'm sorry you couldn't join the live chat, because that's fun too. But maybe, well, if we all watch this on the same time, then maybe a live chat is going to be even more exciting. The flashbacks. Oh, Omar is right. The flashbacks were also really, really cool. It was a nice way to tell the backstory without, making it too ponderous. And it makes sense for him if he's in a Bacta tank to have these flashes, because the Bacta tank is not just healing you physically, but I think also mentally. And so, as we know, dreams are also a way for our system, our brains, to find healing, to go through events and to process emotions. And that's absolutely what Boba Fett is experiencing in the Bacta tank. I need to go back to Empire Strikes Back and check my comments on the fluidity of the Bacta, because it looks too much like water. I wanted it to be more gooey and green, but oh well. So again, Chosen Nightwolf says the monster, the sand monster, reminded me of the Kraken from the 1981 Clash of the Titans. Is that 1981? Of Ray Harryhausen? I always felt that was much older. Is that from the early 80s? Wow. I stand corrected. Thank you so much for that additional information. But yes, the stop motion very much reminded me of what we see here, but now it's with like modern day CGI. Like everything, it was flawless, I have to say. There were only a few scenes during the night where I felt like, wow, this looks a bit like the old Star Trek episodes where you clearly can tell that this is filmed inside and not outside. There's also a certain grittiness. And I also think that they use day for night. It's a technique where you actually film this with bright lights, and then later on in post-production you kind of lower the brightness and the contrast to make it look as if it's night. But the thing is, in film language, you always know when something is really filmed during the night because the image gets grainier. Cameras just have a harder time filming during darker scenes. That's why oftentimes directors will use day for night as a technique, because it's very hard to film at night. But your mind, like your subconscious mind, tells you this is not real. If this were truly at night outside, the image would be grainier. So maybe if the post-production people are watching this, maybe you should add a little bit more grain to make it more realistic, at least during those night scenes. That would be my my only thought, but it's a minor quibble. Everything looked fantastic, and the colors are a bit washed out, but similar to what we saw in The Mandalorian. And of course, everything is super brightly lit. This, after all, Tatooine, you've got 2 suns instead of 1. So yeah, it must be very hard to film. Use lots of strong ND fillers to still be able to capture everything. All right, so some of you need to go to bed. I need to get started with my day. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. Share this with people, with other Star Wars fans that may want to enjoy these watch parties, and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, because if this works, I can do this for other movies and other series as well. So again, thanks for watching. Love to read from you in the comments, and well, take care. We'll talk later. May the Force be with you.